Alright, here we go, Factoring Trinomials video 2, and I'm going to pick up with number 18, do one more on worksheet 2, and then I'll move on to the next worksheet. So this is 18. This is where it gets a little bit harder. You have to think of it like a puzzle. Don't be discouraged by it, just think of it as a puzzle. You're going to need to use your eraser, sometimes you hit it right, and I'm going to give you some more tricks on how to get it right quicker. Then have to try everything out because it's going to get really complicated real soon here. Alright, trinomial. We know it factors into two binomials. We know that we have a plus and a minus because we look at the last sign. It's negative. It's different, so the signs are going to be different. When the leading coefficient is not 1, we're going to do a lot of erasing because there's a lot of combinations, and we might have to switch our signs around, but we do know they're different. So we come up with our combinations. We got 5 times 5, and we have 1 times 25. Not too bad. If you have a number like 24, you have 3 times 8, 2 times 12, 1 times 24, 4 times 6, so it gets a little bit more complicated. 8, we have 2 combinations. We have 2 times 4, or we have 1 times 8. So you just pick one. I'm just going to go with the 5C and the 5C. Usually that one works. And I'm going to pick 2 and 4. And I can think a little bit before I put them in. Like if I put the 4 here, I'm going to get a 20 minus 10. Oh, that works. So I'm going to put the 4 here and the 2 here. I check my outer and my inner. My outer will be negative 20. See? And my inner is a 10C. And I'm going to get a negative 10C. Well, I want a positive 10CD. Whoops, I forgot my D. So all I need to do is switch these around, and I'm in business. So don't get frustrated if you don't get it the first time, because this needs to be positive, right? And this needs to be negative. So if I check it, I get 20 CD minus 10 CD is 10 CD. Okay, worksheet number 3. Same idea, just more complicated. So we're going to go on worksheet number 3, number 2. 24 y squared plus 47 y plus 20. The harder they get, the better I like them. Okay, 2 sets of parentheses. Last sign's a plus. What are they both going to be the same as? They're both the same as that one. So they're both pluses, so we don't have to change anything around. Combination-wise, though, we have a lot more problems going on here. Here's that 24 I was talking about. So you have a 2 times 12, a 4 times 6, a 3 times 8, and a 1 times 24. So just stick them all out there. Here we have a 1 times 20, a 2 times 10, and a 4 times 5. Okay, obviously this looks like it's going to take all day, but I haven't done this before I did this video, so you're going to see how my thought processes work. So we have a pretty big number in there, so that tells me that we can pick some of these bigger numbers to go in there to get such a big number here. So I might do something really radical, like doing the 2 and 12. I'm just going for it. Just throwing it in. 2y and 12y. I could have picked any of these. Any of them might work. This probably won't even work. And then I'm going to pick one over here, like the 4 and 5. That just feels good to me. Now, I'm going to tell you why 4 and 5 will not work with this combination. Okay? This is a very, very helpful tip. You should never put a number in a binomial, like say I put the 4 and 5 in here. Do you see how 2 goes into 2 and 4? You should never put a number in the binomial that can be factored out of the binomial. See how a 2 could be factored out? So I know this is wrong. And if I put the 4 over here, I could take a 2 out of the 12 and 2. So this combination, right off, I know it's wrong because you don't want to put any factors in the same binomial. So I'm going to take those babies out and just try another one. Now we might come back to this. If I change my 2 and 12, I could change this 4 and 5 could work. So look at this. 2 and 10 is not going to work. Same idea. if I put a 2 in here and a 10 here, do you see how I could factor a 2 out of here and I could factor a 2 out of here? So we know those don't work. So what I found out, see here's a 1 and 20. I couldn't put the 20 in either of these because I could take a 2 out. So none of those work. So I can just, I know I made a mistake. So I'm going to go and change my front number. I'm going to erase that. See what I'm talking about with all this erasing? It's going to take me all day to do this video for this one problem. Okay, new combination 4 and 6. No, see I'm not going to do 4 and 6 either because look, I'm going to run into the exact same problem. I'll be able to take a 2 out with whatever one of these combinations I put in. So, hey, I just eliminated these two. They just plain old don't work. I'm down to 3 and 8 and 1 and 24. And 1 and 24 is not going to work because it's a multiple of, well, that one might work. But let's just do the 3 and 8. If I put a 3 in here and an 8 in here, I'm not going to pick this one. See how I could take a 2 out of this 8? So both of these have 2's at them, so this isn't going to work. This won't not work at all. I can either do 4 and 5 or 1 and 20. I'm going to go with 4 and 5. I'm going to put the 4 in with the one that doesn't have the multiple of 2. If I put the 4 in here, I could take a 4 out of both of these. They're multiples, so I can't do that. And I'm going to put the 5 in here. There's a lot of tricks that you can do to make this easier on yourself. I didn't know all these tricks. I used to try every combination. So here we go. Let's try it. We get 24y. Whoops, I didn't do that right. Outer is 15y. Inner is 32y. Look at that. And I'm going to get 47y. And so I hit it without trying every combination. Just knowing that factoring technique helps a lot. That not putting common factors in the same binomial. Whew, that one took way too long. Okay, this one's going to be worse. 84 d squared plus d minus 15. Wow, now that one's, look at how many combinations we're going to have with 84. Don't panic, just do it. Combinations, I'm going to do this one first. 3 times 15, 3 times 5, and 1 times 15. This would be, oh my goodness, we have 1 times 84. Now, do you see how we have just a 1 here? That means that our outer and inner, when they subtract, they have to be 1 difference. So I know it's not going to be 84. Just think about that for a while. So let's try 4 times 21. Is that the combination? 4 goes into that 2 times 21. I'm just starting with that one. I just feel good about it. I could be totally wrong. 4d and d in 21d. Maybe I don't feel good about it. Now we have a 3 and a 5. I don't want to put the 3 in here because 3 goes into 3 and 21. So I put the 3 here and the 5 here. You're going to need your calculators for this. I'm going to put my signs in later because I don't know which one's positive and which one's negative. So outer will be 20d. Inner is, already it doesn't work, 63d. There's no way, see this last line says we're going to subtract what we get. There's no way we're going to subtract that and get a 1, so I messed up. That didn't work. This is really embarrassing to do this on video. I hope no one else watches this. Okay, so the other one is 1 and 15. So I can't put the 15 here because the 3 goes into 15 and 21. So I put the 15 here and the 1 here. And if this doesn't work, it doesn't even come close to working. Because we're going to get 4d and then some big number, and that's not going to come out to 1. So I have to start from scratch, and this is what you're going to have to do. The more you do this, the more intuitive you become. So this one just does not work. What's another combination? Can somebody think of one? I can't even hear you, so it doesn't matter. 84 divided by 4. I already did that one. 84 divided by, what else would go into it? 4 times 3. 7 is 12. So 7 times 12. There are so many possibilities for this one that it's really frustrating. So I'm going to get 7d. I like doing these though, just keep that in mind. 7d and 12D. At least this side doesn't have as many. Just imagine if this were like some big number with lots of factors, then we're really in trouble. Okay, 3 and 5. I can't put my 3 here because 3 goes into 12, so I'll put my 5 here and 3 here. Finally. Okay, my outer is 35D and my inner is 36D. Yay! And they're 1 apart, right? You want it to be positive, so we want this one to be positive, this one to be negative. So we put our positive with this one and our negative with this one. Okay, we're only on number 4, and you can see these are a little bit tricky. Let's go down to, they look like they get a little bit easier. So let's go down to, skip. Let's try 14. And we're just going to close with this, and I'm just going to let you add it because there's not much more I can explain to you. It's just trial and error. 37 CD plus 7D squared. So here we go. 2 sets of parentheses. Okay, now for this one you have 6 times 6. You have a lot of them. 3 times 12. This is bad too. 9 times 4. I'm just doing 6 and 6. I like 6 and 6. And this one's great because it's only 7 times 1. That's really helpful. So I'm going to put my 7. It doesn't even matter where I put it. The last sign's positive. That means that both signs are going to be the same. They're going to be the same as the first sign. Check my outer. Negative 43. C. My inner. Whoops. Signs. Oh, that's not good. Minus. That's a 6. Doesn't look like a good 6. Minus 6C, and look at that, we're not getting it. If this was a plus 6C, we would get it, but it's not. Those signs have to be the same. So what this is telling me, these can't change. There's only one combination. So it tells me that I need to change my first terms. Put in something else until I get to work. It can't take all day, I don't think. So another combination would be 4 and 9. So 4 would be 28, 4 and 9. My outer would be, of course you have to know your multiplication table somewhat. So my outer would be negative 28C, and my inner would be negative 9C, and I get negative 37C. And so that combination works, and we got that one right. So I'm hopeful that you'll be able to just do your trial and error and get these babies to work. Don't be frustrated. You're just going to have to think of all the combinations. Use your eraser, erase. Remember, if the last sign's positive, both signs are going to be the same, and they're going to be the same as the first sign. Also remember, you can't put factors in the same set of parentheses. I couldn't put up here in this one, I couldn't put a 4 here, because a 4 goes, there's a number that goes both into 8 and 4. You can't put a 2 here. You can't put a 16 here. So you can't put any common factors in the same parentheses, and that makes it a lot easier. Okay, that's it. Video 2.